Welcome to ANSA v25. Today we are going to have a look on how you can perform the actions you did in the past in our new graphical user interface. ANSA had the classic graphical user interface for close to 30 years, but now there's a significant improvement. We have changed from the classic module button that you used to know to the ribbon pages. Now ANSA is more fresh, is more user-friendly, and it provides an easy way to increase the productivity of the user. Let's have a look. Now all the buttons are organized in ribbon pages, as we can see here. Each ribbon page contains different sections where the grouping of relevant functions has been made. This grouping also has affected the overall functionality of ANSA. So inside a function you will find more options, more groups, and the same stands for the surface mesh, for the volume mesh, for the sketch 3D, where here a new grouping has been made for the curves and the 3D points that we used to work with. And we have a new addition of a sketcher, a 2D sketcher, similarly on what you would get in a CAD. We have the direct and the box morph as a separate ribbon pages now, hexablock, and the CFD ribbon page that contains functionality that is affecting only the CFD users. If we click on the three dots, we can see all the ribbon pages that are available and that we can select to activate. For example, the development tab, where we have the related to scripting functions. If I middle click on it, I can close it, and of course I can access it back again. So the main functionality is distributed here along sections in the different ribbon tabs. This is the central area where we have buttons that we use a lot, like the CFD meshing profile, the undo redo, and some other functions, and also some hidden inside this arrow. Here we can access the settings, we can access the solver, and we can also work with the window settings here. Help can be accessed from here, and also the documentation. In the left area, we call this left dock area. This is a new way of organizing entities in ANSA. So if I click here, we can see the different managers like feature manager, batch mesh manager, connection manager, and the different lists like properties, sets, materials lists, volumes list. On the right, you see the icon of pinning. So for example, we can pin the materials and we'll see them here, or we can unpin them and they're hidden. If we click here, we get the database browser, which has the option to auto hide, so visible and not visible, like this. If we want to permanently dock it, I can click on this arrow and now it's docked. Personally, I keep it like this. Okay, here we have the model browser, feature manager, the batch mesh tool, and if we see at the bottom area, we will see more or less what we used to see in the past: the focus commands, the visibility controls, selection assistant. Again, some grouping has been made here, like we have the visibility of the points and the curves on this area. We have some grouping of single, double, triple and joint cons under this icon, the hot points and spots or perimeter grids, generally faces, and a new button, which are the volume definitions. When you define a volume in ANSA, you can see it or hide it from here. Let's quickly move on to this classic demo. What I would like to show you here is how we can process this model using our tools, but that are grouped differently under this new ribbon style. So let me use the project with the entity selection to select the bounds of this hole, confirm with middle mouse. We see that target is activated. I select it, confirm, and I get the result. By default, I get a topological connection since autopaste is active. We will use the master delete to delete the remaining face. Let's delete also this face, and we can use the delete hot points from here to remove the points that have been left. And now, in order to fill this gap, I'm going to use the fill from the design section, confirm, and I get this nice result. Now, if you check here, again, I'm going to fill this gap. There is the result, it's on auto, which means that will give me a face now that everything is a face already. And the boundaries have the option to merge. So you see that not only the filling happens, but some joining takes place. Here, in order to remove these holes, we can use the fill again, or we can massively simplify the holes. We can use a maximum of 20, identify, ANSA identifies the gaps, and then it will join, remove the holes and join the remaining perimeters. Okay. Now we have a clear intersection here. We can use the intersect faces, which is the classic approach, but we can use also trim to trim out these two areas that we don't want them, and they are removed. We can use heal to select these and fix the connectivity. Heal does work with what we used to say back as topo, so it applies topological connection, but it also fixes maybe some geometry definition that has gone bad or any other geometric errors. So it's a smart topo. Let's use cut with parametric cut option, and let's use delete to remove these two faces. We will use fill again. Now let's work with loop selection, and here we need to project this perimeter onto the back face. Let's select it, confirm, and select this one as well. Delete it using the master delete. And now we want to remove this face. I can carefully highlight it like that, or I can use the cons, list faces, click on this edge, and now I see all faces that have this edge common, and I can select that I want to delete this. Okay, here there's a crack. I can delete the hot point and use again paste source target. So this is the source, this is the target, this is the source, this is the target. Okay, so there is topological connection now here. There is a gap, but it's only visual. So if we switch to meshing, this will be covered. Let's make a cut here and remove this thing. Let's also project again this here and remove the face that is not needed anymore. Finally, let's fix this. Again, plenty of ways to fix it. I'm just gonna use cut, but with plain option, so I can have it as a straight line, delete and fill. Not with loop, but with entity selection. Okay, we can fix the orientation and we're good to go. Now I'm going to show you the same process. I'm going to reopen the same file, but we are going to go through this in a different way. We will use only the edit geometry from here, which is in the direct section. And what this does, it will do what we did already, but we will do it by only using this function in a more smart way, trying to increase the productivity. So depending on where you highlight, if you right click, you get different options. If I right click on the highlighted cones, or if I highlight and right click on a face or on a hot point, I get different options. So what I would like to do now is, by pressing Ctrl, select these edges. You see that loop selection was activated. Right click, project onto this face. You saw that the window that popped up was the same project as we used here. Still, I am in the edit geometry. I can right click and delete the highlighted face. Here, right click, delete, and by clicking on the hot points, I can remove them. I can grab one cons and drag it, and like a curtain, I'm going to create a new face. The same could happen here. And by clicking on these cons, I can join it. Okay, so I could also drag and drop, the same here. Right, Control and click, so I select similar to a loop, project here, confirm, right click to the highlight and delete it. Let's trim this one and this one, confirm. Now at the red cons that are coming very close together, I see this icon, and by clicking on it, I fix the connectivity. I can drag a hot point and have a cut. And now by pressing Ctrl, I can select these two faces, right click, delete. Drag these cons and create a new face. Here, right click, list faces, find the face that I don't need, delete. Click on a hot point and remove it. And now let's use paste. You see again the same window appears. This one here, and let's see, paste this one here. Okay, I can drag this to make a cut and up to the hot points that I want. Select this one, project here, delete this one, and we are almost there. Let's make a cut. Delete and fill it. Also fix this one. Okay. Finally, I'm gonna select faces and press on orient. Again, right click, select faces, box selection, right click, orient. And now I have fixed the model in a different way. Instead of going through each function, I'm accessing them in a more efficient way through the edit geometry. Of course, this is a user preference, right? Depending on how you want to work. However, we offer this possibility as well, and it fits many of our users. Okay, let's have a look now on how we could mesh this. So we will switch to the surface mesh. There's a section that is called control, where all mesh settings are found. We have the surface mesh defaults and the shell criteria that used to be a separate window. Also the volume mesh controls and the solid criteria. We can specify here that I want a mesh from 1 to 10, for example. Okay. And then I will just click on the generate mesh, select the faces and press OK. We see here that the default values have been copied. So 1 to 10, CFD and Tria. Press OK. So in one step now we'll get spacing, the distribution of the nodes, and the actual meshing that used to be another button in the previous versions. So I can switch to quad and say now from 2 to 8. Select the faces, confirm with middle mouse, and the spacing runs again, and the surface mesh runs again. So now minimum is 2, maximum is 8, and the element type is quad. If we want to use something like the old functions, and I want to apply manual spacing, it can be found here. So I could use the general of 20 millimeters, for example, on these edges. Confirm. Now a uniform mesh has been applied, uniform spacing actually. And then in the generate mesh, I'll switch to generators and I'll select one from the available options here, like advancing front with trias, select the faces and confirm. So okay, that's quite bad. Let's do another spacing and I'll use like finer mesh of 5 millimeters. Okay, and let's go here to generators, select it and confirm. Okay. So now this is more to the similar to the older philosophy on how things worked. However, the generate mesh in the batch option covers 90% of the cases, if not more. We can move nodes as we used to do. We can run the improve function as we used to do. Now the previous reshape, it's the reconstruct, which has the allow perimeter simplification option active. This is a reshape. We have smooth and fixed quality, and let's use it on the violating, confirm, and done. Another way to inspect the model is through the quality inspector, as we used to know. In the shells tab, I can press run, 0 of elements. Let's create one just to see that it actually finds it. once more, quality inspector, shells run, and we found the ones violating the quality, improve, and I can use the improve function from here. However, let's also see the hidden view mode. Now the button doesn't exist anymore here, it can be located from here, and we see the coloring that takes place based on the violation of the quality criteria. We can see it live here. Okay, and we could run again the improve on the violating elements, and we are done. Additionally, if we have a quick look at the sketcher, we can go to the sketch 2D, select the plane that we will create a 2D sketch, and here I can start working on a new design. Let's say I have the constraints like I would have in a CAD. So 200 millimeters there. Let's use this to fix it, and let's change this dimension, double click and put 150. We could add a fillet, or like here interactively, and by using the space I can enter and say I want a fillet of 70 degrees here, a radius of 70 at the fillet. Pull can give me more options how to work interactively here, for example adding a fillet, etc. And now I'm going to give another dimension here, and when we are done we could go back to geometry and, for example, extrude this, not this, only this. I can give maybe normal to source, or let's go with the user defined, and I will extrude it at the z-axis 0, 0, 1, and how much? Maybe 100 millimeters. Confirm with middle mouse. Sorry, not up to target, but up to distance. So distance should be 100 millimeters. We see the preview. If we rotate it, press OK. I can use fill with loop selection to create the caps, top and bottom. And we have created a new object. Let's say, let's hide curves, using the sketcher from ANSA. If you want to access the sketch entity, we will go to the database here, and I can deactivate the visibility of the sketcher and orient gray outside. And we've managed to design something completely using the functions in ANSA and without the need to go back to the CAD. Okay. Here we see that the sketch is colored with this pink outline, and this means that this is a temporary ribbon. So when I exit it, I don't see it anymore, and I will not find it here, right, in geometry. So in order to do it, in order to go back to that ribbon, I will activate the sketch 2D again. Let's see that I want the sketch here, for example, and I see the temporary ribbon again active on my screen. If we don't close it, it will stay open here, and I can re-enter. This is the intro in ANSA, just for the basic functions of geometry and surface mesh. In the volume mesh, the functions are the ones you used to know. There's a reorganization, as we mentioned already, but not something significantly different. And in the feature manager and the batch mesh, the consistency is maintained between the previous version and v25, so your old batch mesh can run without a problem, and if you have built any automation, should work as well. Thank you for watching this video. Some more will follow. Don't hesitate to contact us in case that you face any issues or in case that you want to learn more about our software. Thank you.